Hello, my beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the new moon in Gemini, which happens on June 15th, 2026. And this new moon is very interesting because Gemini energy is never quiet. Gemini brings movement, brings information, conversations, decisions, messages, a lot of documents, learning, short trips, social connections, and of course new ideas. So this new moon may open a new chapter connected with communication, thinking, choices, people around us, our siblings and neighbors, studies, writing, speaking, social media, a lot of business ideas and the way we exchange information with the world. A new moon is always a beginning, but a new moon in Gemini is a beginning that starts with a thought. It can be a message, a conversation, a decision, or a piece of information. Something may begin because you hear something, because someone writes to you, because you sign something or some document, because you finally decide to speak, because you start learning something new, or because you choose a new direction. This is a very mental new moon. It activates the mind. It may bring curiosity, questions, movement, and the desire to understand what is really happening. So, in this video, we will talk about what a new moon means in general, what the new moon in Gemini brings collectively, how long this energy will influence us, what this new moon may bring for each zodiac sign, which house of your horoscope is activated, and at the end I will share a beautiful new moon ritual, affirmation that you can use to work with this energy consciously. Watch for your sun sign, moon sign, or especially your rising sign, because the rising sign usually shows the house placement most accurately. So let's begin. And before we go deeper into the forecast, let me quickly introduce myself if you are new here. My name is Astra. I'm an astrologer and numerologist, and on this channel I share astrology forecasts, planetary updates, zodiac predictions, and guidance for important cosmic events. And if you want to receive not just general forecasts for your sun, moon, or rising sign, but personal daily predictions based on your individual date of birth, you can order them on my website astrocodepro.com. Also, your 2026 personal energy calculation is available absolutely free. All links will be in the description below this video. And now let's return to the new moon in Gemini. A new moon happens when the sun and the moon meet in the same zodiac sign. Energetically, this is the beginning of a new lunar cycle. The sky becomes dark, the moon is not visible, and symbolically, this is a moment when something is being planted. It may not be fully visible yet, it may not bring immediate results on the same day, but it creates a seed. A new moon is the time to begin, to set intentions, to choose a direction, to make a wish, to open a new emotional chapter, and to plant something that may grow over the next weeks and months. Usually, the strongest influence of a new moon can be felt 3 days before and 3 days after the exact date. So for this new moon, the most sensitive period is approximately from June 12th to June 18th, 2026. But the energy of a new moon continues for the whole lunar cycle, around 2 weeks until the full moon. And the intentions planted at this new moon may unfold even the next 6 months until the full moon in Gemini later in the year. So, if something begins around June 15th, pay attention. It may become much clearer or reach an important result later. Gemini is an air sign ruled by Mercury. Mercury is a planet of communication, thinking, speech, writing, learning, commerce, movement, documents, messages, any kind of negotiations, transportation, and the nervous system. Gemini is curious, asks questions, wants information, connects people. Gemini moves quickly from one idea to another. So, when we have a new moon in Gemini, life may bring new beginnings through information. This may be the moment when you start a course, launch a blog, open a social media page, begin writing something, start a podcast maybe, make an important call, sign a document, meet someone, reconnect with people around you, or you make a decision that opens a new path. But the shadow side of Gemini is overthinking, nervousness, gossip, scattered energy, too many choices, and not enough focus. So during this new moon, we need to be mindful. Not every message requires an immediate answer. Not every thought is truth. Not every option is your destiny. Not every conversation deserves your energy. This new moon asks us to use our mind wisely, to speak consciously, to listen carefully, to ask better questions, and to choose the thoughts that create the reality we actually want. Collectively, this new moon may open a new cycle connected with media, information, education, communication, technology, transportation, documents, and of course social systems. We may hear important news around this time. There may be new announcements, changes in information, new policies, new agreements, or new conversations in society. Because Gemini is connected with media and information, this new moon can also highlight social networks, journalism, content creation, advertising. What else? It can be marketing and public communication. For many people, this may be a good time to start something connected with, for example, a YouTube channel, a podcast, a newsletter, a blog, a course, to write a book, a new website, a new social media strategy maybe, a marketing campaign, a study program, a language course, a writing project, a sales project, some business idea. This is also a good new moon for making connections. You may meet someone who becomes useful for your future. You may receive information that changes your plans. You may have a conversation that opens a new door. Gemini is also connected with movement, so short trips, local travel, cars, transportation, and daily routes may become important. Some people may buy tickets, plan a trip, repair a car, change their route, or begin commuting differently. But again, Gemini brings many options, so the key is not just to move. The key is to move in the right direction. This new moon is excellent for setting intentions around clear communication, better decisions, learning something new, writing and speaking, sharing your voice, launching a project, improving relationships with siblings or your neighbors, creating content, starting a course, building a network, making useful connections, healing overthinking, and choosing a new mindset. This new moon is not only about speaking, it's also about listening. Because sometimes the most important messages arrives when we finally become quiet enough to hear it. Now let's talk about what this new moon in Gemini may bring for each zodiac sign. Please listen for your sun, moon, and rising sign, but especially your rising sign, if you know it. Aries, this new moon activates your third house. This is the natural Gemini house, so for you this new moon may be especially strong in the area of communication, messages, documents, learning, short trips, your siblings and your neighbors, transportation and daily connections. A new conversation may begin, a new idea may arrive, you may start learning something new. You may sign or prepare documents, you may launch a blog, podcast, social media page, or writing project. You may receive very important news from your siblings, relatives, neighbors, or someone in your close environment. This is also a powerful new moon for changing the way you speak to yourself. Your thoughts create your actions, remember it. So if you want a new reality, Aries, this new moon asks you to begin with a new mindset. A new document, message, meeting, or short trip may become the beginning of something important. And an affirmation for Aries. My words open doors. My mind is clear, focused, and ready for new opportunities. Taurus, this new moon activates your second house. This is the house of money, income, personal resources, possessions, values, self-worth, and stability. So around June 15th, a new financial chapter may begin. You may find a new income idea. You may start a new job or side project. You may rethink your prices. You may begin saving money. You may create a new budget. You may receive an idea connected with sales, communication, writing, teaching, marketing, or online income. Because this is Gemini energy, money may come through information, through your voice, through your knowledge, through writing, selling, communicating, through social media and networking. This new moon may also ask you to think differently about your value. Taurus, maybe it is time to stop underestimating what you know. And affirmation for you, Taurus. I value my talents, my knowledge, and my energy. New income flows to me with ease. Gemini, this is your new moon. It happens in your first house, the house of identity, body, appearance, image, personal direction, your confidence, and new beginnings. This is one of the most important new moons of the year for you. It may feel like a personal reset. You may want to change your appearance. You may start a new personal project. You may feel ready to introduce a new version of yourself to the world. You may make a decision about your future. You may feel more visible. You may begin again. The first house is about me. Who am I now? What do I want? How do I want to be seen? What version of myself am I ready to become? This new moon gives you permission to choose yourself. But because Gemini energy can bring many options, do not scatter your energy everywhere. Choose one clear intention. Your new chapter begins with your decision. And affirmation for you. I'm ready to become the next version of myself. I choose my path with clarity and confidence. Cancer, this new moon activates your 12th house. This is the house of rest, healing, closure, solitude, dreams, intuition, spiritual protection, hidden information, subconscious patterns, and endings before new beginnings. For you, this may not be loud new moon. It may happen quietly. You may feel the need to rest. You may want to withdraw. You may have powerful dreams. You may receive intuitive messages. You may understand something that was hidden. You may feel ready to release an old mental pattern. The 12th house is the place where we let go. So this new moon may help you close an emotional or mental chapter. It is a good time for meditation, therapy, spiritual practice, prayer, forgiveness, and energetic cleansing. Cancer, before your personal new beginnings comes, you may need silence. This new moon says, release the noise and listen to your soul. And affirmation for you, Cancer. I release what no longer belongs to me. My intuition guides me toward peace and renewal. Leo, this new moon activates your 11th house. This is the house of friends, groups, communities, social networks, audience, future dreams, your goals and your wishes and long-term plans. So around June 15th, a new social chapter may begin. You may meet new people, you may join a group or community, you may launch something online, you may start building an audience, you may receive support from your friends, you may set a new goal for the future, or you may understand who truly belongs in your next chapter. This is also a powerful new moon for wishes. The 11th house is the house of dreams coming true. But Gemini asks you to communicate. So your blessing may come through a message, a contact, a friend, some collaboration, social media platform, or a group of people. Leo, don't hide your ideas. Someone needs to hear what you have to say. And affirmation for you. I am connected with the right people. My dreams grow through community, friendship, and inspired action. Virgo, this new moon activates your 10th house. This is the house of career, public image, your reputation, status, achievements, authority figures, life direction, and professional goals. This is a powerful new moon for your career. You may start like a new professional project. You may receive a new role. You may have an important conversation with a boss, for example. You may decide to change your direction. You may launch something publicly. You may begin building a new reputation. Gemini energy suggests that career opportunities may come through communication, media, writing, teaching, marketing, networking, sales, documents, or online activity. You may need to speak, present, publish, negotiate, or share your knowledge. This new moon asks you to think about where you are going professionally. What do you want to be known for? Virgo, your voice may become part of your success. And affirmation for you. I step into new professional opportunities with confidence. My knowledge, my voice, and skills lead me towards success. Libra, this new moon activates your 9th house. This is the house of travel, foreign countries, higher education, legal matters, publishing, teaching, spirituality, philosophy, and big life vision. You may plan a trip, you may begin a course, you may apply to a university, for example. You may start learning a language. You may receive news about from abroad. You may publish something. You may begin a spiritual practice. Or you may have an important legal or document-related conversation. The 9th house is about expansion. It asks you to look beyond your current environment. Libra, this new moon may bring a new idea that changes your worldview. You may feel called towards something bigger, a new teacher, new mentor, travel plan, or international opportunity may appear. And affirmation for you, Libra. My world is expanding. I'm open to wisdom, travel, learning, and new opportunities. Scorpio, this new moon activates your 8th house. This is a deep and powerful house. It rules shared money, loans, debts, taxes, insurance, inheritance, investments, your partner's income, intimacy, trust, secrets, psychology, and transformation. So around June 15th, a new financial or emotional chapter may begin. You may start discussing shared money. You may apply for a loan. You may create a repayment plan, for example. You may receive financial information. You may begin therapy or deep inner work. Or you may have an intimate conversation. You may decide to trust someone or realize where trust is missing. The 8th house is not superficial. It asks for honesty. What are you afraid of? Where do you need more transparency? Where are you giving your power away? What financial or emotional pattern are you ready to transform? Scorpio, this new moon may open a door to healing, intimacy, and financial rebirth. And affirmation for you, my dear Scorpio. I reclaim my power. I welcome emotional honesty, financial clarity, and deep transformation. Sagittarius, this new moon activates your 7th house. This is the house of relationships, marriage, partnerships, clients, contracts, negotiations, and important one-on-one connections. So around June 15th, a new relationship chapter may begin. It's like you may meet someone new. You may begin dating. You may move a relationship to the next level. You may start a business partnership. You may sign or discuss a contract. You may receive a new client. You may have an important conversation with your partner. The 7th house is the mirror. Other people may show you something about yourself. Gemini energy suggests conversations are very important now. Ask questions, listen carefully, clarify expectations, and do not assume. This new moon may bring a new agreement, but it must be based on clear communication. Sagittarius, someone important may enter your life, or an existing relationship may begin again in a new way. And of course, information for you. I attract honest, inspiring, and supportive partnerships. Clear communication brings harmony into my relationships. Capricorn, this new moon activates your 6th house. This is the house of work, daily routine, health, habits, schedule, service, your colleagues, your responsibilities, and in general, your lifestyle. So this new moon may bring a new beginning in your everyday life. You may start a new job routine. You may begin a new health habit. You may change your schedule. You may organize your workspace. You may begin working with new colleagues, for example. You may start a new project at work. You may improve your productivity. Gemini energy suggests that communication at work may be very important. Emails, documents, meetings, planning, systems, and information flow may need improvement. This is also a good new moon to take care of your nervous system. Less chaos, more structure, less overthinking, more simple daily actions. Capricorn, small changes now may create big results later. And affirmation for you. My daily life supports my success. I create healthy routines, clear systems, and productive habits. Aquarius, this new moon activates your 5th house. This is the house of love, romance, creativity, children, joy, pleasure, your hobbies, art, self-expression, and personal happiness. This is a beautiful new moon for opening your heart. You may begin a new romantic story. You may start dating. You may feel inspired creatively. You may begin an artistic project. You may receive news connected with your children. You may return to a hobby, for example. You may feel more playful and alive. Gemini energy brings flirtation, messages, laughter, and interesting conversations. A romantic connection may begin through communication, online platforms, social media, your friends, or a casual conversation. If you are creative, now this is a powerful time to write, speak, perform, teach, create content, or share your ideas. Aquarius, this new moon asks, what brings me joy? What do I want to create? Where have I forgotten to play? And of course, special affirmation for you, Aquarius. I allow joy, love, creativity, and inspiration to flow freely through my life. And Pisces, this new moon activates your 4th house. This is the house of home, family, roots, parents, emotional security, property, living situation, and private life. So around June 15th, a new chapter may begin at home. You may move, you may renovate, you may redecorate, you may have an important family conversation. You may begin healing something from the past. You may discuss property, rent, documents, or living arrangements. You may feel the need to create more emotional safety. Gemini energy suggests many conversations in the family. There may be documents connected with property, housing, relocation, or family matters. This is also a good new moon to clear your home energetically and physically. Your home is not just a place. It is the foundation of your nervous system. Pisces, this new moon asks you to create a space where your soul can breathe. And of course, affirmation for you. My home is a place of peace, clarity, and protection. I create emotional safety for myself and my loved ones. Now let's talk about a simple and beautiful ritual you can do for this new moon in Gemini. You can do this ritual on June 15th or within 3 days before or after the new moon. You will need a candle, preferably yellow or white, a notebook or just a piece of paper, a pen, and a quiet place. And if you want, you can also use lavender, mint, or chamomile tea to calm the nervous system. First, sit quietly and take a deep breath. Light the candle, close your eyes, and imagine that your mind becomes clear, like fresh air entering the room. Then ask yourself, what new idea wants to be born through me? What conversation do I need to begin? What decision am I ready to make? What am I ready to learn? What thoughts am I ready to release? What message does my future self want to give me? Then write down 3 intentions. Because Gemini rules words, it is important to write it down clearly. For example, I am ready to communicate clearly and confidently. I welcome helpful contracts, inspiring conversations, and new opportunities. I begin a new chapter in learning, writing, speaking, and sharing my voice. I choose thoughts that support my future. I receive the right information at the right time. I trust my voice and express my truth with ease. After writing your intentions, read them out aloud. Gemini is connected with the voice, so speaking your intentions gives them power. Then place your hand on your throat or heart and say, my words create my reality. My mind is clear. My voice is strong. I'm open to the right messages, the right people, and the right opportunities. So it is. Let the candle burn safely for a little while, and then keep your written intentions somewhere special. You can return to them during the next 2 weeks and again in 6 months, when this lunar cycle reaches a deeper point of manifestation. My beautiful souls, this new moon in Gemini on June 15th, 2026 is a powerful moment to reset your mind, open new conversations, begin learning, share your voice, and choose a new direction. This is a new moon of messages, ideas, choices, documents, movement, and connection. Something may begin with one conversation, one email, one phone call, one decision, one idea. So pay attention to what comes to you around June 15th. Pay attention to the people who appear. Pay attention to the words that are spoken and to the thoughts that appear and repeat in your mind. Because this new moon may show you where the next chapter begins. And remember, not every new beginning looks big at first. Sometimes the universe opens a door through a whisper, through a message, through a question, through a simple thought that says, what if I try something new? So use this energy wisely. Write your intentions, speak your truth, choose your thoughts, and allow the right information, the right people, and the right opportunities to find you. If this video was helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And write in the comments what is your sign and which house is this new moon activating for you. I always love reading your comments. Thank you for being here with me. I'm sending you love, light, clarity, and beautiful Gemini new moon blessings. May your words open doors. May your mind become clear, and may the right message find you at the right time. See you in the next videos. Bye bye.